boom, boom. Hmm. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, yep, it's working. Alright, here we are. Transformers quick. Yeah. Okay, I gotta adjust this a little bit. Yeah, that's why. Alright. Okay, just need to adjust my screen just a smidge. Alright, we're good. Okay, I just need to do one more quest. Alright. And let's go. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, earlier today I was, oddly enough, testing it. What the hell? Oh, there it is. I was actually toying around. Okay, I got that on. Why? Okay, there it is. Boom, 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 boom. And here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, played around on Switch. Very weird playing on the Switch. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, my main goal is get that one more Transformers mission. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Holy Jesus Christ, that was a little faster than I was thinking about. Oh, yes, I think yes, I did. Still going. think I ejected a little too soon. Alright. Main goal, blow up shit. Oof. Take some of this too. Alright, let me go in. Oof. Whoa. Ooh, excellent. That I was not expecting, I will be honest with you. Okay, 42 of 100. I would just go up. Go with that. That can be very useful. I wonder. Nope, that didn't work. Alright. Ooh, but this. Really? Alright. Come on. Ooh, a big shield potion. Uh-oh. Need to go down fast. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we'll take this. Ooh. Oh, got both of us. Alright, I'm cool with that. Let me... Okay, where the hell? In the mountain. Alright. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Mountain, favorite time of year. The trees aglow, minis flow, a wonderland of snow. All the mats are free. Okay. Piled as high as a tree. Cool idea. Semi-cool idea. Alright, what do we have? Almost the same thing. Intriguing. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, what do we got? Boom, 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 boom. Alright, this should put me over. Don't know if this will count. Kill me. New emotic. Ah, that's it. Alright. The action. Excellent. Oh, got another one. Ooh. Boomerang. Excellent. Okay, now what do we got? Something up here. Alright, let me try this way. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, let's go check down here. Boom, 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 boom. Burn. Alright. Okay, I'll check up there. Let's see what we have. Going in. Really? When I was looking for this shit, I couldn't find it. Yeah, right. Yeah, excellent. I'll take that. Alright. Suck that down. We still haven't fixed that. Guess we're going this way. Boom, 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 boom. Whoa. Damn it. Kept on missing for some retarded reason. Oh, thank you. Gonna leave me alone. Guess we got something in there. Whoa. Ah, crap. Alright, let's head over this way, see if we can get out of here. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, guess I'll go in here and take a quick look. Ooh. Whoa. Whoa there. Oh, you key stuff. Woohoo. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was actually kind of cool. Oop, oop. Leave. Ooh. Shit, I'm doing horrible. Wow, guy just went. Let it go. Alright, got that. Some more bandages. Wow, guy wouldn't leave me alone. Alright. Somebody already get him? Looks like it. Damn it. Alright, I am headed this way. Alright, I'm headed going this way. I still miss the shockwave hammer. That was always fun. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Now let us see. I think somebody's trying to open. Alright, that good went nicely. Oof. Come on, we got it. Seems. Gotcha. Freaking stupid idiot. Should be it. All right. Alright, let's wait and see. Down to 22. Excellent. Excellent. It's going good. Alright, down to 15. I achieved my goal for the day. Oof. Oof. Alright, alright. Uh-oh. Oof. Not good, guys. Not good. So. I need to cut inward. Okay, almost in the circle. Alright, down to 11. Come on, drink it. I swore I saw somebody over here. Oof. Got another. Excellent. Down to 7. Down to 5. Make that 4. got anybody over here? Gotcha. Aim it. Alright, down to 3. Oof. Oh, I like that thermal fish. That definitely came in useful. Alright, still looking around. Ooh. Lost track of that one. Got 3. Ah, good with that. Good with that. Top 3. Woo. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Excellent. Ooh, not bad. What do I got there? Okay, Prime Meridian and Mexico. Okay. Okay, bam, bam, and Carly. Yeah. Recent. Yep. Time. Alright. Nope. That's Spider-Man. Alright, short. Emotes. Phrase. Alright. Whoop. Alright, where is it? Nope, no. That's still looking. Nope. Oh no, that ain't it. Where's the freaking... Ugh. No. gonna have to look that up. Oh, you shitting me? Alright. Alright, I've got that done. I'll figure it out when I get over to the other side. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right. All right. No. Okay, that's a new one. Where the frick is the maximal one? Oh, that's one. Okay, that's locked. Okay. Are you... No. Flapjack. No. The hell is that? Okay, I'm not even sure. There it is. Oop, oop. Okay, that's kind of cool. Fluid. Okay, possible. Prime Meridian. Alright, weekly. Oop. Well, thank you. Thank you, Nathan. How you doing? Yeah, so what are you up to, my man? Alright, got that. Oh, nope. Check my backpack. Yeah, possibly. Another 160. Well, thank you for saying that. I'll go with that one. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Okay. Oh, see, someone's got the prime skin. Boom, 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 boom. boop, boop. Alright, loading on in from the looks of it. Well, thank you, man. Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, I figured I'd play. I got my goal for the night to get those last, finish off the Transformers thing. I gotta get some of the 160s over here and save the world. Alright. Lightning Storm, Epic, Smoke Screen. Ooh. Okay. Now let's gotta go. Oh, you should be able to add me. I mean, yeah, I can add you. My epic is the same as my screen name here. I get some supplies while we're looking still. Oof. Well, someone's found B.
Now deploy the launcher.
Oop. Not a problem, man. Okay, almost to B. Oof. Alright, let me jump down so I can goof. Hopefully they don't see me. Oh! Boop, boop, boop. Got another person as well. Boom, boom, boom. Ah. Additional what? I'm assuming that's you?
Let's start by deploying the armory.
The hell is that?
The armory is now active. To produce your first bomb, add blue glow.
Ah. Okay, that might... Oof. Oh, yep, okay. Alright, got any way up here? Let me take a look around. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir is.
There it is. Time to shut it down, Commander.
Okay, nothing off this way. Alright. Ooh, ooh. Got anything over this? Okay, I will accept that when I am done here. I wanted this. Particularly for down here. Oh yeah.
When you're ready, connect the armory to the launcher.
I'm gonna put Alright, let's get those up there. Whoop. 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 Are gonna most likely okay. Would have been much smarter to use boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, what is that noise going on over there? Boom, boom. Well, not a smart move. I'd put that my flag here. Jeez,
Connection
okay.
complete.
Really?
Next, we'll need to transport the bomb to the launcher. Don't
Not
worry about
sure
building
how
defenses
much of
around
a
the track.
smart move that is,
If
but
the bomb is destroyed, we can always make another. This will be a run-and-gun style mission.
grab a
Follow
bunch
the
of
bomb and
these.
keep it safe during transport.
Not a smart move. I would wait. Alright. Hey, okay, oh, I have really good guns in survival mode. Oh. Okay. Alright, let's put some more of these. Whoop. Alright, this should be up. Whoop. Ah, what the hell? Put another one. Everything should be good. Question is over there. That's the real problem. Alright, I'm good.
The bomb is on the move. Keep it safe.
Boom, boom, boom. Why is he even looking for anything? Assuming somebody died. Oh, I forgot to make myself. Got to make myself more weapons.
The bomb is taking damage.
But that would help.
The connection has been lost.
Alright. Please. Bam, bam, bam. Oh. Okay, where do you think you're going, dude? Alright, gotta keep it on. That's it. Boom. Boom. Whoop. Okay, yeah, excellent. We're almost here.
The bomb is taking damage.
Whoa! Oh. Should have remembered. My boat. What the fuck was the point?
We made it. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how cool that is? I could blow up all of my problems with that thing.
Why the hell did he...
Enough of that. Let's get to work.
Oh. Some people...
The bomb has been loaded into the launcher. The launcher will auto-target the ridge while it charges. Defend the launcher and prepare for some unwanted
What
gas.
was the point of... I put down fire trap. I hid a fire trap right here. Ah, some people just don't get it. Well, coming up. Come on. Really, dude? Come on. Okay. Okay, going nicely. Okay. Yeah, excellent. Okay, it doesn't look like we're gonna get... Oof, I gotta plug in my phone. Alright, here we go. Prime. Oh yeah, we're not gonna, definitely not gonna get it. Alright, there we go. Excellent.
Here it comes. 30 seconds left.
Keep doing it, sir. Not sure why he keeps on running me off, though. But that's what he likes to do, that's fine. Two, one. Ah. vision, dude. Boom, boom. Plop, 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 plop. Alright, here we go. Okay, that's kind of cool looking. Boom, 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 boom. Excellent. Boom, boom, boom. Oop. Got that. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, what the hell's going on here? Okay. Guess I'll switch back over. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, you must have left then. Oh, yeah, it happens. It happens. Yeah, do a rando. Oh, I know, sometimes the Wi-Fi can really suck. Oop. Alright, full crew over here. Oh, okay. That's one thing I wish I'd really change. That they would tell you when you do a random what it is.
The targets and place those atlases when you're ready.
Alright. Oh,
So
there's
far,
one.
so good. Has anyone seen Phoenix?
Ooh,
I thought he was going to help with this.
still gotta go up.
Target located. Drop the atlas on the target when you're ready.
Oh, there it is. There it is. So somebody found that. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, down this way. Grab some more supplies while I'm on my way over.
In this case, we'll need to build up to place the atlas laser.
Okay. Oh, he's working on that one? Oh, okay.
Bonus challenge is now available.
Ah, damn it. Alright. Jump, shoot, taking you out. Alright. Alright, give it to me. Where is it? Where is it? Alright, he's got that one. Oh, damn it, we've got a min. Boom, 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 boom. Excellent. Dude, the hell? Okay, got that. Let's upgrade the stuff. Oh no, if we don't play today, we can play... Dude. Trying to upgrade shit. Okay, let me finish my shit. Alright. Okay, it's almost. Hello, I'm a fellow Fortnite streamer. Would you be down to do a follow for follow? Oh, you're already following me? I would oh, I did not know that. Thank you. Oh yeah, sure, man. I'm sorry if you just followed. I did not hear your notification go off. I'll have to look into that. Army, okay, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Army House? Yeah, I'll do that after I'm done here. Yeah, right. Oops. Alright, got this. Ooh. Yep, I'm taking this down.
That's the last one.
Well, in a bet there's probably gonna be some dumbass
Nice
that
work.
starts it. Not
Add
gonna be
blue
me.
glow to the atlas.
Oh no, do not do that.
Open mission control when you're ready to begin.
Alright, now I'll put some spikies down. Get this out of the way. More spikies. We go from this angle. Boom, boom, boom. Alright. Okay, hopefully no one starts it too soon. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, Nathan, your Wi-Fi's better. That's good. So you jumping back on? Okay, I'm definitely overdoing it with traps. Because it doesn't look like any of us are definitely none of us are constructors, so this should be interesting. Okay, that's not let me upgrade that. Oof. Alright, Come on. Very good. Oh, looks like I'm the only one that actually gathered the blue glow. Alright, so now okay, that might have been not a good idea. Okay. Come on. Excellent. Alright, that was a bad idea. Come on, we got it. Boom, boom. There's a reason for that. Oop. Ah, hacker. Okay, why do I have a piece of meat here? I do not know. Alright, gotta put some more of these down. Alright.
That's enough blue glow. You've got this, Commander.
Okay, where? Oh, damn. Uh-oh. Come on. Alright. Let's go now. You are not a bar. Ooh. Damn. Take that. Screw it. This should be good. Whoa. A little glitch there. Smart move, dude. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ooh, flinger douches. Flinger bitch. The hell did you get up here? Okay. Get a little hottie up here. Okay. Get one from one way. Okay, work on these guys from this way. That should help over there. Excellent. Excellent. Oh. Douchebag. Douche. Excellent. Alright. Got through there. Oh, dude. Oh, you piece of crap. Yeah. Alright, boom, 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 boom. Okay, we got 3 minutes. Alright, that's going. Alright, not too bad. How the fuck did he get up here? Actually. Ah. Almost done. Less than 2 minutes. I am now Carbon. Oh. Minute and a half. Oh, you suck, douchebag. Alright, got a... Really? Okay, less than a minute left. Keep it going.
30 seconds left to go.
Almost there. And bam. Why did I grab that? I am not sure why.
Triple threat. 3 Atlas victory.
Interesting look from underneath, I will say. Excellent. Ooh, okay, that's an interesting group of people. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Okay, if Nathan's still there. Boom. Legendary heroes. Okay, he's in battle. He's in the lobby. What am I looking at? Probably do 1 or 2 more. Oh. Okay, that's cool. Boom, 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 boom. Oops. Alright, that's going, that's going. Alright. 2 more. Well, 1 more. 160. Alright, that's trap marked. What do we got in here? Boom, 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 boom. Oh. Excellent. Boom, 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 boom.
Fill her up if you'd be so kind. I need to get back up in those clouds.
We're headed your way.
Whoa.
Make sure to collect any blue glow you see.
Get away from the blaze. Good, but at least we got 2 constructors done, which is good. Really good. Boom, boom. Alright, got these. Freaking bees, I hate the bee ones. Anybody found? Oops, somebody found it. Oh, that somebody was me. Alright. Let me head inward. I've got a lot of stuff I need.
Add blue glow to prepare for liftoff.
Whoa. Oh. Okay, you can mantle up a tree. I did not know that. Interesting. Like I said, I need some supplies. Yeah, absolutely. Going in. Okay, we is over here. Oof. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, got some more cars. Oof. Take this. Do a busted up one. The hell? Okay, that was huge. Okay. Okay, I woke something up. Boom, boom. Bang. Oops. On my way. Okay, we got two people. Ooh. Dude. Alright, got the two. One of the. Well, we got three of those. The two. So we should be good for that. Okay. Okay, who's the idiot that brought that? Alright, that's it. Alright, fat boy. Ooh. Dude, get the fuck up. Oh, you piece of shit. Dude landed right on top of me. Alright, that should be an interesting one. That will definitely give them some trouble. Whoop. Okay. The fuck? Ooh. Wow, stuck. What? That? Okay. Intriguing. Intriguing. Whoop. Okay. Hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't go too much like that. Oh yeah, this is going to be an interesting
Defend
one.
the van.
It's going to be very intriguing.
We've got a bonus in play.
Okay, where... Oh, they're coming. Damn, bitch. Whoa! That damn put so much shit up we have. Ain't it half time fruit? God damn. Holy shit. Hit the wrong button. Oh. That wasn't good. Oh. Excellent. Alright, back up. Ah, that's where I was. Oh, you suck. Oh, I am. Okay.
30 seconds left to go.
God damn. Oh. Suck. Fucking bees. Oh, that's where they're coming from. Oh my god, you literally fuckhead.
Bonus challenge success. Good job, team.
No, do not.
I think we'll need a little more blue
No.
glow. Add blue glow and get ready to defend the van. Push the switch when you're ready.
Okay, what the hell am I? Oh. Okay. Let's up, please. Nope, nope, I guess not up that way. Okay, I'm not entirely sure. Okay. I will let them do it. What's the point of me putting this up here? Come on, bitch. Oh my god, leave me alone. Oh my god, ooh, I'm gonna die. Okay. Healing up. Yeah, I do not get it. Oop. Oof.
Defend the van.
Alright. Whoop.
We've got a bonus in play.
Alright, trying to keep it on there, buddy. Alright. Excellent, excellent. Going this way. Oh. Don't worry about me. Protect the area. That is the most important thing. Alright. Oh, damn. Oh, dude. Okay, oh, I fell down. Boom. Excellent. Just let him poop. Oh. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Shit, why am I'm about to die already. Just barely got on here. Excellent. Just we lost the boss. Alright, let me see if I can drop the bomb on something right there. That'll be good enough. Whoa! Oh no, he didn't. Yeah, excellent. Almost done.
30 seconds left to go.
Whoa. 30 seconds. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. 3, 2, 1.
Liftoff! Bonus challenge success. Good job, team.
Ah, there it goes. Boom.
We've got a floaty van. Congratulations, people.
Boom, 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 boom. Excellent. Plop, 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 plop. Excellent. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Got that. Excellent. Boom, boom. Excellent. Do one more. Let us launch. Boom, 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 boom. Do one more rando and I'll save the final cue for the next time. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, excellent. We got a full crew. Ah. Alright, let's load down in. Boom, 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 boom.
You know how we're always coming up with gadgets to outsmart the storm? Well,
yes,
that
I have.
started an arms race. You know those rumors we've been hearing about an even more dangerous part of the storm? A corrosive storm that closes in on you, eventually swallowing you alive? Remember how I said that would never, ever, ever happen here? It's happening here.
Oh, get the
We
lava.
need to retrieve the data before we're overwhelmed
Oh.
by the storm.
Okay.
So you'll want to move quickly. We only have 20 minutes. Keep an eye on the storm's movement on your map.
That's easy enough.
We need to retrieve the data as usual, but this time we need to watch the storm. Exposure to the storm will hurt you. A lot. You'll take damage when you're in the storm, so
The
keep an
hell-
eye on
oh.
your health.
It's been a tar pit.
We've got a bonus in play.
Pushes which? Oh, okay. So over this way. Come on. Oh, that's actually quite an interesting combination. Alright, let me head over to that. There it is. See if we got another one around. Oh,
So, how are we doing feedback-wise?
there you go.
I'm asking for Sarah. I don't care. I mean,
All right, I'm gonna
I care
get
about
you
doing a
over
good
there
job,
now.
of course, but I don't care what other people think of me. When Lenny over at Riff Freak Monthly called my playing overwrought and said my sweep arpeggios were muddy,
Boo-boo.
I completely forgot about it the next day.
I don't mean to keep you in suspense, Lars, but I can't find Phoenix anywhere.
Ooh, should we warn Dennis?
Yes, we should.
All right, that is over this
Landing
way.
site spotted. Nice find. Any attacks from the storm's creatures could corrupt the data. You'll want to build
Oh,
defenses
okay.
around the balloon's landing site.
That is idea. Alright, dude. We'll grab these. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, excellent. Alright, put this up. Excellent. Well, this was incredibly stupid, dude. Why don't you try doing something that is actually helpful? Not impedes the progress? Mhm. Alright, let me put some of these down. Well, you're an idiot. A big time idiot. Alright, get this. Put you in a room. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Still got some idiots here. Alright, almost. Excellent. Oh, what's my buddy doing over here? I'll take it. Alright, let's head back and get... Alright, headed back to the beginning.
The only way we're going to retrieve all of the data is to shoot the balloon down as soon as possible. So bring down that balloon, download that data, and get ready to move. The storm wall's getting close.
Okay.
The balloon has landed. Defend that data.
What the fuck are you guys doing? Holy shit.
We lost the file.
That's because of the way the dumbasses set this up. You drew them right to it. Oh my god, it's fucking dumbasses. Holy shit. They've done nothing to help. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. I'm just no mood for this right now. Good. I tried to help. Seriously, tried to help. It's just that time of the night. I just...
Whoa!
Okay. I'm gonna grab one of these. Yeah, I'm usually, if I'm on it all and etc., I'm usually not on that long. Whoop. Yeah. Let's see. Defenders. Whoop. Survivors. Whoop. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, crane. Oop, still need trainer manuals. Armory, schematics. Whoa. Oh, there it is. Looking for the bow, modify. Nope. Don't have enough yet. Backpack. Bam. Oof. Yeah, the end of a long day. Oh no, no. Alright, going back over here. Boom, 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 boom.
It's a party in my hoof.
Deal some more damage. Boom, 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 boom. Alrighty then. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna do... Oh no, I'm just end of a long night shift. Squads. Before I do that... Okay, I'm gonna... You know I'm gonna head back. just wanna give it a try out and play. 'Cause that would go awesomely with the ice trick. Boom, boom. Ah, excellent. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, close. Okay, my entire team is here. Oh. Guns. Why? Well, I guess. Definitely like Wolverine class. Douchebag. Douche. A bag. Shorting. Oop. Oops, that's better. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shit. Like I said, long day today. It would help if we were to have idiots not. Okay. Tell you. Idiots. Idiots. Hopefully next time a little better. Really? Oh, okay. Alright, I'm gonna have to cut it there. Like I said, long night. What do we got? Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. Okay, intriguing. I would just the back bling. That's the only part that I'm interested in. Tragan. Oh yeah, I got this little Sid. Think I might play with her for a little bit. Alright. Battle pass. Possible. Intriguing. Okay, that's kind of funny. Boom, 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 boom. Possibilities. Alright, let me come to the Prime page. Backlink, excellent. Alright. I'm gonna leave that here for now, guys. Like I said, usually Saturdays I'm only on it for a very short time. But I'm gonna leave that here for now, guys. Want to know when I'm on again? You know, remember to follow, like, subscribe, and all that. And catch you guys later. See you next time. Bye bye. Boom, 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 boom. Whoop. Boom, 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 boom. Whoop.